Mr. Patrick Tay.
Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, I rise in support of this bill which seeks to enable the digitalization of the lasting power of attorney, filing of deputyship reports, as well as enhance the protection of donors and persons who lack mental capacity. The LPA is a legal instrument which allows the person, the donor, to voluntarily appoint one or more persons, the donee, to make decisions and act on his behalf when he loses mental capacity one day. There are 3 key steps under the existing process. First, the donor must choose someone he or she trusts to make decisions and decide on the decision powers to accord to the donee. If there's more than one donee, the donor must also decide whether the donees are to act jointly or jointly and severally. Second, the donor must attend before a certificate issuer, i.e. a doctor, a lawyer, or psychiatrist, with the LPA, who will then sign and certify that the donor has mental capacity to make an LPA. This is a crucial safeguard in ensuring that the donor is aware of the legal implications and has not been under duress or undue pressure in the creation of the LPA. Third, the donor must submit the LPA and all relevant documents to the Office of the Public Guardian, OPG for short, by post. The OPG will then verify the documents and proceed to register the LPA if there are no valid objections. We are living in an era where almost anything and everything is digitalized. It also means things are done even faster, smarter, easier, and safer, especially with a low-touch economy. Accordingly, the proposed amendments which seek to establish an electronic transaction system for persons to create an LPA or carry out their transactions with the Office of Public Guardian digitally is a timely and laudable move. Even as the majority of Singapore rides the rapid waves of change in the digital sphere, and we are moving forward in this space, I wish to highlight 3 concerns which I hope to see addressed as we embark on this set of amendments. First, expanding outreach and communications. My wife and I did our LPA earlier this year, and I must say the process is not a simple one. You need to read the fine print. There's quite a number of signatures and quite documents and forms to go through. So actually my first concern is with the seniors amongst us and whether the electronic process will be a boon or a bane to them, as there are many who may not be electronically savvy and comfortable with the e-processes and may result in us losing out this group, which are precisely the ones who need to make their LPAs most urgently in case they lose their mental faculties with the passing of time and age. The question we need to address is how the electronic process will help or encourage seniors to do up their LPA. Will the system be multilingual as well as void of legalese? I understand that the Office of Public Guardian has plans to work with the People's Association, the Infocom Media Development Authority, and other organizations to train and assist elderly persons. This is a step in the right direction to evangelize the importance of the LPA. In addition, the Office of Public Guardian can also partner with NTUC and the labour movement, and as well as our union leaders, to enhance the outreach to workers and union members. For a start, perhaps a special campaign can be embarked on to get all our union leaders to do up an LPA at a subsidized rate so that they can lead their way to encourage the workers and fellow members as they interact and engage with them in the workplaces and various shop floors. Second is extending support at the local level and the needy. Over in my Pioneer constituency, my community volunteer team and I had organized and conducted a Facebook Live webinar in October last year on wills, estate, and lasting power of attorney to educate our residents on this very, very important topic. We collaborated with Invictus Legacy Centre to extend a very economical and affordable package to all Pioneer residents when they do up an LPA and a simple will to the end of this year. This was well received by my residents, and many of them shared that this was useful and practical. And as of earlier this year, I know more than 300 residents have done up their LPAs in response to this special package and service for our residents. And I recall also doing this similar drive during my last term in Boon Lay constituency, where we also extended a special package, but this time to the many needy and low-income residents there staying in the rental flats. I think with this, I submit and suggest that OPG can work with the community and come up with a similar support scheme to assist low-income and needy residents to do up their LPAs. Besides waiver of the registration fee, which is a good move, support can come in the form of waiving or even subsidizing the certificate issuer charges. There can also be proper benchmarks, as now there's a spectrum of charges imposed by certificate issuers, depending whether it's done by a lawyer, a doctor, or a psychiatrist. Third is deputyship. I'm concerned for those who do not make their LPAs before losing mental capacity, and their families and loved ones must now apply for deputyship with the courts, which is a costly, time-consuming, cumbersome process, which quite a number of members of this House have already highlighted. Would MSF be making any further changes to simplify the existing procedure, which would save time, cost, and energies for all of us? I note that there's a simplified application process for restricted use of monies of $60,000 and below for certain categories of applications. Further, the amendments propose to allow the public guardian, in case of suspected fraud, to disclose to a donor that his prospective donee is already a donee to multiple donors. Does this disclosure obligation apply across the board, or would there be certain exemptions, for instance, where the appointed donee is either a next of kin, close relative, or friend of the multiple donors? Also, if the authorities suspect that fraud has been perpetrated, what will happen to all the LPS registered after the amendments have been passed? Sir, clarifications and concerns notwithstanding, I stand in support of this bill. Thank you.